Hello, and we're live. This is a pop-up, fly by the seat of my pants, off the cuff, live. And I thought it'd be a cool episode to kind of highlight handlers in Hollywood and kind of talk about what I see just as a psychic, oracally, in the aura, when I see a handler. And so if anybody's watching, I know this is last minute, late night, pop on with your QQQs in the chat. If you'd like to book a personal reading with me at any time, you may do so at jgilly.com. That's JGILLY.com. All right. So let's get into it. So handlers. So one of the maybe surprising people you might think wouldn't have a handler is Andrew Tate. And I feel strongly that his brother is his handler. Now, how you can spot and pick out a handler. What I will find is that there are different types of handlers. So there can be actually like reptilian type handlers that are well versed in telepathy. And this is the kind of handler I see Andrew Tate's brother as. Very telepathic with his brother. So much so in interviews that where they're together and where they're allegedly arrested outdoors or like doing press releases and public talks, like getting released and stuff, you will see Andrew Tate's brother kind of like off to the side, moving his mouth and in a way almost like controlling what Andrew Tate is saying. It's so bizarre. I've seen it a couple of times and I was like, oh, that's his handler. That is a full-on reptilian handler that they've like switched out in his brother's body. I've seen it before. It's fascinating. In fact, I was trying to look up a similar video or the video that I had seen of Andrew Tate's brother like mouthing the words. I couldn't find it. It was like they had taken it off of TikTok. Couldn't find it anywhere. But I will show you a similar video in how you spot these types of reptilian handlers. There's like some that are like very, very telepathically controlling. And they may have like some type of like, I don't know. You tell me your thoughts, but I feel like they might have like a chip or something or RFID chip or something that helps with this control. I don't know. But let me show you the video that is similar. It was caught in more of the political world. Let's see. Okay, here we go.
55 from the committee's interview with FBI employee Roya Demlow, who
put this. Start it over.
Administrative matters first. I wanted to introduce into the record page 55 from the committee's interview with FBI employees. Just have some administrative matters first. I wanted to introduce into the record page 55 from the committee's interview with FBI employee Roya Demlow, who.
Hey guys, could y'all hear that?
First, I wanted to introduce into the administrative matters first. I wanted to introduce into.
Hi guys. Hey Wendy. Hi Diana. Hi Cam Est. Hi Chrissy. Yeah. So, okay. And then also, too, there is some theory. There's another video of that same lady that was mouthing. So, that's what a real reptilian handler to me looks like. When someone has like fully taken a handler on and is well aware of it and knows that they're being controlled, has made a decision to be consciously controlled. That's what it looks like to me. Andrew Tate's brother, I've seen this similar thing happen in interviews with his brother, where his brother's moving the words as he's talking. It's very subtle, though. You can't notice it right off the bat. Um, but I saw it in one of these old interviews because I didn't know who Andrew Tate was. And I was like, and then I heard they were like, oh my God, you haven't heard of him? Toxic masculinity. Like, you have to look him up. So I looked him up, and that was the thing that popped out of me. I was like, his brother's a handler. And they're like, wait, what? And they're like, oh my God, you're right. And like in the particular video that popped up for what he had gotten, arrested for, I like literally immediately, I was like, something's weird about his brother. He doesn't look right. And then he was mouthing words. So always, always look for, especially in politics as well, there's always going to be someone, if they're truly controlled and they don't have any control over what they say as the narrative in a public speech or public arena, you are absolutely going to see someone off to the side kind of like mouthing it, like moving. And they're not on drugs. They are like, it's almost like a form of telepathic like control in the fourth dimension is what I pick up. But that same lady in that video, there is a conspiracy theory that when they did a close up on her left eye, that it also had the medical anomaly in the same left eye as Madeleine McCann. And the same slit that Julia Vandell has as well. And some people, she's like in another video in the backlight showing her eyes and like making these crazy eyes. And some people were like, oh my God, was she making those eyes so we would see the characteristic of the Madeleine McCann eye grown up? And they did a side by side, like on TikTok, a side by side conspiracy theory video, and the eyes were very similar. So this goes back to my question that I had answered about Madeleine McCann. I do think that there are several clones of that DNA that the McCanns allegedly sold off and made money from the loss of their daughter, Madeleine. So, and I absolutely believe Julia's story. I think there's more of a rabbit hole though than meets the eye. And yeah, I don't know. What do you think? Put your QQQs in the chat, guys. I love all of your comments. They're so smart. Let's see. Agnes says Andrew Tate was born on December 1st, 1986, and is 39 years old. Tristan Tate was born on July 15th, 1988, and is 38 years old. Both brothers are currently detained in a federal detention center in Miami. Interesting, because I was just speaking about the other day how Miami is a portal for demonic energies, and that I feel that that has a really big part to play in whatever ritual, demonic ritual happened with Perez Hilton. I also feel that it's designed to desensitize and steal our loosh and all that good stuff. I saw Sloan Bella's live on her thoughts on Perez, and I absolutely agree with her. Like, she was spot on with that. Like, I didn't want to deep dive and like dissect it because like the energy is just I don't know, just too much for me. It's just, I don't even want to understand it. But I caught her lives. I love Sloan Bella. I really think she's very wise in this spiritual realm, like understands Hollywood, the handlers, and is a great teacher for sure. Yeah, and I thought she was, like, spot on with what she picked up with Perez. It was definitely a spiritual battle for his soul. I do think that what was being carried out was you know, contracts that he had signed that he was seeing spiritually being carried out on his vessel, you know, for control of his vessel. And I think that the geographic location of Miami made it very easy, a delicious snack, because it's a demonic portal, and probably because of the Lion's Gate. It's very, very heightened energy right now. Um, all that good stuff. But it's interesting. I wouldn't have guessed that Tristan was a year younger. You would think he'd be older as his handler, but you know, they can switch him out, clone him real quick. But yeah, there's a lot of videos that I find where Andrew Tate's brother just looks like he's mouthing or forcing something from his mouth into Andrew's. It's very bizarre, just like that lady. All right, QQQ, legendary. I've heard that Florida has a Stargate. Perhaps the spiritual energy can be harnessed for good and bad. Yes, exactly. My husband and I are planning a trip to Florida to a natural mineral spring. Is it safe? Great question. Let's see. Yes, this particular location is, and the minerals especially will be protective. So as long as you go in with an intention and a prayer of protection, you go in with a high vibration of love and healing, it's really hard for evil to touch you. You know what I mean? So I say still go. If it's near Miami, be a little skeptical, say an extra protection of prayer. I'm not really sure about Stargates. I do know definitely there is a point in Florida that is part of the Bermuda Triangle. And I would imagine that that is extremely potent, an energy vortex of some sort. Maybe that's Miami. Maybe I'm thinking of Miami. But yeah, absolutely. Hey, Cam. I'm going to Florida on the 20th to 24th. Oh, fun. Yeah, I love Florida. The beaches are so beautiful, so white. Um, I think natural springs, the minerals and all that stuff is naturally healing and protective in itself. So if you go in with a, pure mind and pure heart, it's all good. Okay, guys, I have to show you my new little gadget that I'm obsessed with. Okay. So I kind of splurged. Hold on, let me pull this out. I always have like necklaces for days, right? So I got this it's called a Dita Ellis RITM. I think I'm saying that right. RITM, RITM. It's a mini frequency like bioresonance therapy machine. So it's a portable one. So like the bigger version of it is the bioresonance therapeutic machine where you hold the two metal poles and you put your feet on a metal plate and it like recalibrates all the frequencies running through your body. And a lot of like quantum healers and chiropractors have them that's like all the new craze right now in med spas and things like that. This is the portable one that you have on your person. And I'm obsessed with it. It's like there's like different programs for like cardio, like healthy kidneys, vegetative regulation, intestines without problems. I mean, the list goes on. Healthy skin. There's like sleep programs. You can program like abundance to it on the computer. I mean, I'm obsessed. I'm literally loving it. I'm feeling the benefits of it. So I highly recommend if you're wanting to splurge and your pocketbook allows it. You know, there's a healthy metabolism one. I've been doing that one for 6 hours at a time. Love it. There's one for cardiovascular. There's over like 50 complexes, and then there's like several programs in each complex. So I don't know. I just feel I'm so sensitive to frequencies. It's just like an added layer of protection. Um, and I love it. So I love sharing, you know, this is not sponsored. I'm not monetized yet, although I would love it if Data Ellis would. But they're a little pricey. I think this one was around $900, give or take. We've got some flies going on around here Sunday night. Awesome. We definitely aren't going to Miami. It's south of Clearwater. Oh, okay. Well, the name says it all, Clearwater. So yeah, I think you're cleared to go. Have fun. I'm jealous. It's what is it called? It's called I'll put the link in the description too. I'll update it. I'll show it again. This is the name brand. It's Data Ellis and it is the Rhythm Mini. So it's RITM Mini. That's the version this one is. There's also other ones. So there's ones for like this one has a complex for for detoxification and parasites, but I don't think they're as specific as like the one that is there's an Energy 11 one that's like designed directly for parasite cleanses and I got this one because it was like the best all around one and it can be programmed so you can go online and customize what you program, switch them out if you want. I think it can hold 50 complexes at once and you can kind of switch them out and go download online as needed. So I got that one because it was well rounded. Like it had um one for parasite detoxification. It had all the different healthy organ systems and things like that. But I'll be sure to put a link in the description whenever I go get off. Let's see. QQQ, can you post on your page links for copper pendant and rings you showed? Yes, I will do that too. Great. Thanks for reminding me about that. So the tiger's eye and the opal are 0-point pendants. I am not even sure if this guy is still in business because I wanted to thank God I have it broken. I got a hematite one for the first one. I loved that one. It was so grounding and it was so good for like blood circulation and workouts. I love that one. I hit it brushing my teeth on the sink and it cracked. And I think he was like out of stock of the hematite at that time. So I just got tiger's eye and the opal one that's like in a square or rectangle. But they come in hematite, green aventurine, opal, and tiger's eye. And they kind of have different functions based on the stone, but they all are infused with the 0-point field engineering signature frequencies that are designed or like attuned to each healthy organ frequency. So, but like naturally, the tiger's eyes, like for abundance, protection. That one's also really good for like the bones, nighttime, night vision, things like that. The opal's a little bit lighter in energy. I find it's like helps with telepathy and angelic work in the sleep state. And hematite's really good for blood disorders, blood circulation, grounding. I mean, the hematite, I started my psychic work with the hematite 0-point. Oh my God, it was so powerful. It was great. And then I went to go try and order another one, and I couldn't find his business. So hopefully, let me see. Let me look it up right now while we're on here. Let me see. 0 point. Hopefully, he just like moved his website and like to Amazon or something. 0 point pendants. Okay. Yeah, I think he's still in business. Yay. Yes. Okay, here it is. Let me share it right now. So this is the 0 Point Health Store. I love this guy. He's like been in business for a pretty long time. I've had every single one of these. I broke the green one and the hematite one. I still have these two, the tiger's eye and the opalite, and I love them. And this is the difference in the energy fields. It helps protect against EMF. I like to put them in the full moon as well and charge them with my intentions. Has all the blueprint frequencies, quantum field programming generator, and it's just all around a really good like protection psychically, I find. That's what I really got it for. But it has so many other benefits. They got laser points, and then they have like these special like healing music discs as well that kind of clear them. These pendants. This is a new one. I haven't seen this one. Oh, this is new. The Sirius crystal pendant. Beautiful Swarovski crystal. Lower stress levels. We all need that, huh? Yeah, and there's a 0 point intention disc, frequency discs. I also use those to charge the flower of life. Okay, so that is 0pointhealthstore.com. Let me just type that in real quick. Oh, it's not letting me. Okay, there we go. Perfect. And then what was the other one? Oh, yes. Life Light. Okay, now this is one of my favorite shops. So if you've ever like heard of Slim Sperling, he's no longer alive, but he did a lot of work on the measurements of sacred cubit tensor rings. So tensor rings are super popular in like with Reiki healers and things like that. I don't know if you've seen me in Beverly Road's Psychic Saturday show, but I love my cord cutter. I will drop it. I have a big, huge one. I put my manifestations in the center of it. I'm obsessed with harmonizers. I'm making my own harmonizer right now. Sacred Cupid Energizer harmonizer. I got all the tools for it. Like soldering and stuff like a nerd. But there's like tons and tons to choose from. Oh my gosh. It's like I love it. I'm obsessed with this website. And Slim Sperling, his book is really great. The technology on this. I also have this feedback loop is really good for energetically, like you place that feedback loop on certain areas of imbalance, injury. I've used it on Reiki clients in a healing session. And I mean, I've used it on frozen shoulders, torn meniscus, torn ACL. I mean, the list goes on. And then the copper and the gold and silver, depending on what you need, they have different functions. So silver is usually used in gardens for growing like really, really big produce without genetically modifying it, and things like that. They'll show you the best sellers. Let's see. AccuVac coils as well. Love that one. I have one of those. Um, that's the Flower of Life plus the Tinsel ring that I have. And I use this one in particular to hold my energy in for me because I tend to attract energy vampires and siphoners. And so when I was in a healing session, I would turn it around so that my energy would pour into the person I was healing. And then when I'm just out in everyday life, just being me, just as a form of protection, I'll wear that. So I've got that plus a 0-point field pendant. I'm not wearing it right now with this because I don't want it to hit and bang it, but I do wear it together at sleep and during my sleep. And oh my God, the Flower of Life like magnifies the Data Ellis. I don't even know how to say it. Data Ellis, the frequency machine. It like magnifies it. It makes it so potent. It's so crazy. So it's really cool. Just like, cause like, you always know that you're like super sensitive as like, you know, a psychic and a healer, but when you can actually feel the difference of the tools, and then you see the energetic resonance of consequence of that the next day, it's like we could solve all the world's problems if everyone just, you know, had their own little frequency machine. You know what I mean? Let me copy this and I will also put this in the chat for you guys. There's so many tools to choose from. Like, just my advice is just like get drawn to whatever pulls you. Just like a crystal, it will choose you. And you can't really go wrong. You know what I mean? I think I saw that on some interview. Andrew said he knew who did Charlie Kirk. Who often. I'm sure he does. I'm sure that he has some back alley knowledge because they're in the same club. You know what I mean? Cam says, I just got bracelets from Otter Spirit. They do affiliate links for YouTube influencers and give a specific code for each channel. Oh, cool. Yeah, I need to get in that. I'm not monetized yet. Soon. Yeah, so did I answer all the questions? My mom used to mouth the words when people would speak sometimes. Also, I had a doctor's appointment Friday, and my doctor did that when I was talking. Okay, so that also could be people that are psychic. I do that as well. You can do that for family members as well. But when it's like to the side and they're not facing one another, right? Having a kind of an interaction together. This is more of like a press release kind of speech thing on like a stage. And when someone's off to the side mouthing the exact same words off to the side, not facing them, not interacting with them, that's when it's more of a handling situation. So I wouldn't say your doctor is like trying to handle you. I would say, your family members are just a little tapped into you and like psychic. I do that all the time. It drives my family members nuts because like I'll like anticipate what they say or like interrupt what they're about to say because I know what they're gonna say. And they're like, you didn't know what I was about to say. You know, this is like a constant thing with psychics. They're just like, I do that all the time. So yeah. Hi, FL, Blue Skies. We were just talking about you, Florida. We were just talking about you. Hi from Georgia. Hi, so happy. It's hot down south, isn't it, today? Very humid. That woman's truly seemed like she was puppeting her. Yeah, the craziest part was like she made a mistake, and the mistake and her correcting it, they mouth the exact same mistake and then correction. So that's how it's like mind control. Like it's evident mind control. Now, I also feel like the person, the handler, is also a puppet. Really, it's just like doing the bidding of the puppet master that's really in charge. Do you know what I mean? So that person is also controlled, heavily controlled. Now, okay, so let's talk about Bieber and Haley. Justin Bieber and Haley. So I don't know if you watch their lives on YouTube, but a couple of months ago, I want to say it was like 2 months ago, and they were like in another country. It might have been Japan, debuting or launching one of Haley's fashion lines. And it was like a live event on his YouTube. I absolutely believe Haley is Justin Bieber's handler. And the reason being, now I don't think it's like a reptilian type of situation, where you can actually, like in politics, where you can see she's controlling his every word and speech patterns and things. What I do feel she is controlling and handling is his emotion and the regressed version of Justin Bieber that is expressed in the interviews. And she does it in an emotional way. Let me see if I can pull that live up for you guys. So you can see what I'm talking about. But so basically, I don't know if anyone saw the live with Justin Bieber, but hold on one sec. I'm so bad at multitasking. He's had very many lives since then. I also find it really weird that he's like done a lot of live streams with Benny Blanco and like songs. I just realized that Benny Blanco is married to Selena Gomez. Really weird, huh? Guess they're keeping it all in the family. I don't even know if it's on his page anymore. I don't see it. But okay, sorry. I can't find it on his page anymore. But it was alive and it was following them through the launch of Hailey Bieber's like hoodie and shoe launch, something in Japan with a designer. She collaborated with like a well-known designer, and I think it was like urban streetwear designer. And Justin Bieber like will notably switch between talking like a very, very young kid as he's traveling through the different levels of the gallery where like the clothes are on display. So it almost looks like an art gallery, but it's also like set up like in a boutique type of way. But and I think also in the episode they did cornhole, like a game of cornhole together, and it was very awkward between the two. It was very strange, and like there was a lot of tension. It felt like, and Justin kept like wanting affection or wanting attention from her, and she like wouldn't give it. And so I was noticing energetically in her aura that that's how she controlled him. That's how she handled him. And when he wasn't getting her attention, or she was like, distracted off looking at something else, or like asking another person or designer, like, oh, what about this? And da, 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 oh, I forgot about this. He would start talking, almost like regress back to his like teenage years when he first started out. It was interesting. It was very interesting to say the least. And just as a psychic, I saw that was his like defense mechanisms towards that. And then he would like start looking at the fans outside and they would all scream and he would wave and he'd start talking very loud and like, hey guys, like it was so interesting. His like even his octave would go up a little bit, like his pitch. So yeah, it was really interesting. That I would say is like a honeypot or like type of handling where it's an emotional crutch. It's an emotional hold on someone, and they do it in a public setting or on a live, so there can't be much. It has to be all subtle innuendo kind of thing. You can't like outwardly have a spat or say something because you're being filmed. And so that was the feeling. It was very awkward and a bit sad, I would say, for Justin Bieber because I feel he's almost in like locked up in this Rapunzel tower kind of thing and very seemed very lonely in need of like a human connection or human interaction that was deeply present for him. You know what I mean? Did anyone see that live? Does anyone know what I'm talking about? QQQ, any good tips or suggestions to focus on the solar eclipse for August 12th? Haven't done too much reading about the solar eclipse, but I'll just channel and see what comes through. I'm getting something big about trees. So the activation of trees and wisdom. So maybe sitting under a tree, doing a meditation on a tree stump, grounding on a tree might be really important to do up until the 12th. It's possible that a lot of light codes and transmissions are also coming through. I know for me, like I'm on my moon cycle as well. So and like being on my moon cycle, spirit is always like, they're like little kids trying to interrupt my sleep, like constantly. I don't know what it is, but the veil is so thin when I'm on my moon cycle. Like spirit can immediately like tap, like they're just like right there when I'm not even trying. So, maybe grounding is super important because the energy and transmissions of light codes is going to be exponential. I'm also getting a vision of a rainbow in my mind's eye. So there could be off-worlder beings taking the rainbow bridge in that day in particular. I'm also seeing the number 22 in my mind's eye. So the 22nd, up until the 22nd of August, the energies, the light codes, and wavelength transmissions could be extending until the 22nd, or you could be affected until the 22nd. The post shadow type of eclipse energy. So be gentle with yourself, ground, Anything else, spirit? Oh, something about smell. So, and noses. So, maybe an ascension symptom might be stuffy sinuses, a stuffy nose, tension headaches as well with that, associated with that. Anything else, spirit? Oh, it's a good, really, really good time to heal any lingering childhood traumas. Close the door and chapter on that for good so it stops blocking any forward movement, and good luck and abundance trying to come in with the Lion's Gate portal. I'm getting tons and tons of like intuition, like downloads, like lightning bolts. So the collective might be like zing, 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 like just like downloading left and right, not knowing what to do with it. That just flew out. Something about intuition, being able to harness the intuition properly, like take the reins. Don't let your intuition like take you on wild goose chases. I'm hearing. Reel it in, ground it, ground the energy. Yeah, like a tree. Grow where you're planted. Haley, something looks so off with her. When I saw her in the video, the live with Beaver, it looked like she was annoyed having to be the one responsible for him. Like, it did seem annoying when he was acting childish to her, but it was that was the response she was getting as a reaction from her behavior. Her kind of like rejection or the lack of attention she was showing him. So it was a very interesting dynamic. And it just was just like, why are we doing this live? Like, what is the point of this live? Both of you guys look extremely uncomfortable and tense and not on the same wavelength vibing. Like, don't maybe do more choreographed. I don't know. But at the same time, it allows people like me, psychics, to really see what's going on behind the scenes and pick up on the nuances, the little subtle things. So, yeah, it was rough to watch. Like, I don't know if you guys, y'all are really tapped in. So I don't know if when you watch things, you get second-hand embarrassment for people, but I get that like constantly 24/7. I'm like, oh my God, I can't watch it. I can't watch it. I'm embarrassed for them, kind of thing. Hi, Christina. No worries. We did a last minute pop up. So let me ask you guys this. Do you think that Selena Gomez, if Selena was still in her body, let's just say that, because there's a new clone version, reptilian version entity operating in her right now. But do you feel that when Selena Gomez was in her original body, do you feel that her and Justin Bieber were still in love before, I don't know, they tied the knot? Haley Bieber and Justin. Let's see what the cards say. Now I see why people have their mic like ascended, like hanging. It's like because this stand gets in the way with my cards. I think they were definitely each other's first love. And I got truth was what surrounded, maybe they trauma bonded in their own truth. you know? I think they probably struggled with the exact same trauma. Let's see. Does Justin Bieber want to get out of Hollywood? Oh, yes. He's quite depressed about it. Does he willingly participate in things that harm people? No, but he's forced to sometimes. See, it's so sad. So, so sad. In my opinion, Selena was the nail in his coffin. Interesting. I don't know. I'm getting something that him moving on was a wise choice. It was like both because they were together, it was like they wanted control over that relationship entirely. But the feeling I'm getting psychically here, I don't know the story I didn't follow the story closely. I'd have to go look it up, but on why they broke up or what was said publicly. But what I'm getting intuitively and psychically as a download right now is that, yeah, they were kind of put together, set up, and posed as a Hollywood couple because they knew all the kids, all the tweens and teens would be like, go crazy over it. Once they put them together, they realized that they wouldn't be able to control them or handle them as much as they thought because they both suffered the same trauma and were sharing stories, right? They were sharing information. And so once it got to a point where they were like getting smart about it or onto it or onto them, the handlers around them, once they started like getting really, really micromanaging and controlling, um, they started to get resistance. And I'm also getting that they were starting to be secretive and try to do things in back rooms is what I got, or like in the back, in a backhanded way, or like in a secretive way, like entering the back room, the back door, not sexually. Like they were just starting to, you know, how whenever teenagers sneak out or whenever they're like, you know, they're trying to kind of get around their parents' rules, they're smart about it. That's what I'm seeing. So, and they were young. So they were starting to wise up to the control and the handlers that were circling in around them. And then that's when it got really bad. So when they started kind of going off script, when they started kind of like going MIA, not answering, disappearing, and then showing up together at other places, that's when ish hit the fan, I'm getting. And that's also when she was maybe like suddenly with like labeled bipolar, and then she's had lupus, and then like all this crazy health stuff, and then she comes she pops out of like almost like a car wash with new legs and new bionic cheekbones. You know what I mean? I think he might have gotten the better end of the stick, or like the safer option, but he's still very, very controlled. And because he is such a hot commodity and talent, and because his voice and his voice box and his throat chakra are the moneymaker, there's only so much controlling they can do with his voice. And, because they still need his authenticity to make the big bucks and to have the attraction, the following. But I feel that Justin Bieber allegedly has been a very, very big victim of, like the hardcore mind control where you can tell like people's voices, the way they crack or the way they kind of like little ticks and stuff like that. You can tell in their voice when they've been mind controlled or like had like scare tactics, um, or memory wiping that they don't remember. You can hear it in little voice recognition things, I find. And some people will have strained voices. I find his voice is a little strained, which he has an amazing voice. I'm sure that they like really, they have to go light on him, and but I do feel like that it's also them forcing drugs on him as well to control and handle him and sedate him. And so that also affects his voice. But I think there's a lot of mind control tactics, almost prisoner of war tactics too. I'm getting like I'm also seeing him like strapped into like I'm seeing him strapped into some type of chair and like with the leather straps, like old school leather straps where they're like forcing images into his mind to replace memories and telling him like almost brainwashing, like full on brainwashing. So, and then I'm seeing that same scene or that same room and office with the chair and the leather straps. I'm seeing that they're also doing something to his throat as well. Maybe zapping it or something that causes him to scream and strain his voice. That's what I'm picking up. His Grammy performance in Boxers in that mirror was so telling. I cried watching it. You could feel his emotion. It definitely felt like a ritual as well. Um, yeah, yeah, really sad. Still, I mean, he has an amazing voice. Still, he's an artist, a genius. I mean, it's quite remarkable he's made it through what he's made it through, you know, and still has the genius, the creative genius. Was she supposed to be his original handler, but it didn't work? Who, Selena? Let's see. Was Selena supposed to be his original handler? No. Ooh, I said, was it Scooter Braun? And I got a yes. So then maybe, okay, so Scooter was the handler in that situation is what I'm getting. But I think they've since kind of like parted ways, right? I think handler. I think Haley is more of the handler now because she's got eyes on him all the time now. But it looks like okay, so what happened to Selena? Like, was she going against the grain, not listening? No. So what was it? There was something with their union. Their relationship gave confidence to each other where they felt almost invincible against the community or against the odds closing in around them. She gave him confidence in himself is what I'm picking, and maybe she had a very strong intuition and was helping him to connect all the dots because maybe she knew a lot from her childhood early on. Was in the game longer is what I just heard. Maybe she started out younger in the business. She was in like Nickelodeon or Disney, right? So yeah, she probably um was she a lab rat kid, Disney kid? No, she wasn't. Okay, so she wasn't lab grown. Was she handled? Yeah, she was handled. So what went wrong with Scooter Brown trying to handle both of them? Yeah, they started to not listen to leadership choices. It was just like they would tell them yes. It's like typical like kids telling their parents yes and then going behind their back and really doing what they want or tell, yes, I will obey and then just like doing what they wanted. So yeah. They were going against the grain, didn't like to be told what to do. We wanted independence. So I think she was the more vocal one. I think she probably had it. And maybe that's why they like minimized her outburst as, oh, it's just bipolar. It's like they Britney Speared her. She didn't want to be controlled anymore. That's what I'm thinking of. Oh, that's so sad, right? Her reptilian eyes. Yep. Oh, they said she had Lyme disease as well. They said she had Lyme disease and lupus and bipolar. And then kidney transplants. My God. And this woman is not even 40 yet. Craziness. They both have teenage moms. She's older too. Yeah. I think they're both very talented. I think that when it comes to like true, authentic, raw talent, um, they're like really like it's hard to completely control and handle them. It's kind of like Kanye West, you know what I mean? When you really know your worth and you know what you're capable of and you're a visionary, like they will do shit to you, but it's like they kind of like get scared and back off because you are the moneymaker. And I think, Britney Spears is like that sad, like, me being from Louisiana, I can totally see, like, with people circling around me, like, I am way too freaking nice. Like, and you, like, stop being nice. We need to stop being nice. Because, yeah, I think she was probably, trying to be well mannered and polite, and people were just like walking over her left and right. So I think Selena, I'm getting though, she was a little bit more fiery. Like she stood up for herself and they just came at her and like dismantled her completely. That's what I'm getting. Completely dismantled her, put a new reptilian version of her in there, and we're like calling it a day. She's on the ice somewhere. Like they're trying to figure out how to biohack a better version of her to replace this one that's out there with her wonky legs out there. Let's see. What about the baby rumor? JV and SG. Justin Bieber and who? Selena Gomez? There's a rumor about that? Let's see. I haven't heard about that, but I also don't keep up with the gossip. Let's see. Okay, there was a baby in the past. I'm getting not right now. There was a baby in the past. Within 10 months of like marrying Haley is what I'm picking up. Which is crazy. Oh, Justin has Lyme disease. Okay, yes, that makes sense. I think that they're saying Justin has Lyme disease to cover up that they're forcing drugs on him. I mean, like, it's really sad. Like when he's on Instagram and drinking again underneath Haley's nose, and no one's saying like, "Oh, aren't you on a new healthy lifestyle? Like a new path right now?" Like, I mean, we saw his documentary and like his new health regimens and things like that. Like it doesn't sync up with someone that cares for your well-being. So that's how you can tell Haley's a handler. is that it's almost like that's a way to subdue him, is like let him drink or have his night out with drugs. And that's just really sad. Really, really sad. I think that they're just calling it Lyme disease for his skinny, appearance that's suddenly come, that doesn't look as healthy, that kind of thing. She doesn't even look the same. They took her fire away. Yeah. It's the bionic cheeks for me. It looks like metal in there. It's like such a sharp edge. Oh, it's an old rumor. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Then that tracks with what I was downloading. I was getting there was some type of baby connected, but I think it was terminated, allegedly. It was like 10 months around surrounding the 10 months of Beaver's marriage is what I'm picking up psychically, allegedly, for entertainment purposes only. Allegedly. All right, guys. Well, thanks for spending this impromptu hour with me on Sunday. I appreciate y'all. It's always a good time. Until next time, I'll see ya. Love and light. Bye.